Great day, great day. I'm always excited to add not just an outstanding player, but a terrific person, a gentleman with extremely high character. His talents speak for themselves. Those are exciting to talk about. But a young guy that loves the game, loves to work, is very committed, dedicated to becoming a great player. And then to come from a family that obviously his father has a lot of pro experience and has a background that will help guide him towards greatness. Tim Anderson was a huge piece of this. There's no doubt about that. His connection was an integral part in Tim's past and his ability to with workouts, with training guys. Obviously a place of comfort for the Clarks and for Skyy. And then I think that the success of Illinois basketball, I think the style of play, the success we've had with guards, was also a piece of that. So you add Skyy to what I feel like is a tremendous class, a class with great athleticism. Skyy has that as well. He's obviously coming off a knee that limited his play his senior year, but you're talking about a guy that has elite athleticism to go along with the 6'3", 200-pound frame. That's not high school like for most guys, and he's got a tremendous body and frame, and then an elite ball handler that not only gets his spot on his first move, but where I think Skyy's really unique is his second move, because he's such a great handler. If he's cut off, he can go make a play because of his lead handles. So excited, and you add him to Sincere, to Ty, to Jaden, and you've got a gritty, hard-fought, tough, very talented, very athletic group of guys, and I think this recruiting class can lead to many years of success for our future in Illinois basketball.
When Skyy announced, he specifically mentioned Adam Fletcher. How significant is that for a recruit to mention the strength and conditioning coach on national TV that he's going to have?
Well, it's a big part of what we do here. We're a development program. We say that. We sell that. And we lift every single day, and that's different. That's not what everybody does. And Fletch is the best. I don't have rankings to prove that, but he is literally the best at what he does. And for a young guy to believe in that, especially a guy coming off an ACL that is still in recovery mode, to have a guy who is that knowledgeable and that good should be a big factor, and Fletch is obviously going to be huge in his development here, especially early.
How much is a concern of the knee for
None,
you guys?
None, very little. He came back pretty quick. Whoops.
Sorry, Brad.
Spilling my iced tea. That's all right.
That's what that is?
But his knee's not a concern. I think he's an extremely strong young man. He's got a great set of legs in terms of his quads. Those are really important in terms of the knee. It just takes process and training and rehab, and Skyy's going to get that from the jump when he gets here.
How do you feel about him and Jaden complementing each other as ball handlers?
Yeah, I love it. They're both guys who can score the ball. They're both guys who can make others better. They're guys that play downhill, and they're most importantly guys that can go get their own. And that's something that is very, very valuable. And then both of them have great bodies. They're both strong. They're both physical and have mature bodies for their ages. So that will help them immensely.
So when you have a backcourt kind of reset like this, there's a lot of minutes out there. How much does that play in the recruiting pitch for kind of all of these guys that seems to be quite a big opportunity.
Sure, it's no secret. Kids want to play today. You know, that's why the portal's the portal, and it's why kids want to make decisions. They want the opportunity to play, and you know, we've got great opportunity for those young men to step in and are they going to play? Absolutely. Are they going to make mistakes? Absolutely. Are we going to have to let them play through some mistakes? Absolutely. But that's how they grow. And I'm not afraid to play freshmen. And these guys are very, very talented. And you know, they're going to have to learn on the fly. And I'm excited for that.
I don't know if there's a typical recruitment anymore, but most recruitments of high school players are longer term. Just get maybe a month once he, you know, decommitted from Kentucky. What was important and maybe that short time frame just in Skyy's recruitment?
Yeah, relationships. You know, obviously there was one with Tim, but it was about gaining one with me. And you know, today's world, everything's it's speed dating, and you know, that's the term I like to use. Everything happens at a much quicker and more rapid pace. Excuse me, and that was about me building that relationship, not just with Skyy, but with his family. And terrific young man. You know, you get good vibes when you go into houses and you just connect and you know it's right. And I had that from the first conversations with his dad Ken, and then in the home. And so it's you know, we're a relationship-based program, and Tim obviously has a huge piece of that, and it was my job to help solidify that.
Coach, this class, one thing it doesn't have is a big man in the class. Are you still looking to add to the roster before next season?
Absolutely, at every spot.
With the portal, Brad, I mean, a year after the one-time transfer that's kind of gone through, how have you at all adjusted your approach to the timing, or just trying to navigate through that now that you've got a year of experience with it?
Well, even though we have a year, it's very different. This isn't a COVID year, so we have completely different timelines than what we've had to deal with in the past. And now we've got the May 1st deadline. You know, I still yet to see how the one-time transfer is actually going to work, because I think everybody's getting, you know, or in the process of getting waivers anyway. So I think it's an interesting aspect to see how all that plays out. I don't know. I don't have a lot of those answers. The timing is different, which helps us in terms of at least feel like we have some idea of what a roster may look like. You know, we still don't know completely today what that looks like. I don't know if anybody does. You know, and you know, that's not the most comfortable thing, but you keep recruiting, you stay in it, and you stay on guys, and we're checking it literally every day. I think there's 1,255 yesterday. That's a lot of people changing homes.
Is Tyler able to do anything but monitor the portal right now?
No. He's got a full-time job. He and Patrick Biddle and Zach do a good job of monitoring that every single day, pulling clips, actually watching literally every player in the portal and seeing how they might fit. Then those get translated down to you know, to the full-time staff, and then eventually to me. And so it's tedious, it's hard work, it's very time-consuming, and you never know where that gem could be. It could be a Division II guy, it could be a Division III guy. You know, we actually looked at an NAIA guy. So you just never know, and you stay tuned in multiple times a day. And the good thing we have today is technology, which allows us to get our eyes on kids through video.
Tim's made a really big splash in this first year that he's been here. I know that he expected that, you probably did too, but what have you seen and leading to that, and what have you noticed from him as a recruiter?
Yeah, you know, I think that Tim's a person with character, and he's got great connections, and you don't put yourself in a position to be successful in this business if you don't have relationships based on something that's solid, and you have to be that as a person. And Tim's got him in a variety of different areas. You know, his past has led him to be in touch with a lot of people, and but yet he's very high standards, very high character guy. His ability to build relationships on the court, that's a strength of all of our guys. And so, yeah, it's something that we stress in the hiring process and look for is high character guys. And Tim's got a ton of connections, and he's made relationships throughout his entire life and in all aspects of basketball.
I guess kind of with losing all those guys to graduation at the guard position and a couple to the portal, how vital was to get a ball handler of Skyy's caliber late in the
Sure.
class?
Yeah, and I mean, we found out this year playing without a ball handler was not very fun. It set us back. You know, I thought at one time we had 3 guys who would be primary ball handlers with Bello, Trent, and Hutch, and those guys go down with an injury. And then you've got to have a guy like DeMonte who was capable, and we won games, but it stunted our growth a little bit because you want to have development. You want to grow routines, and you want to grow roles, and that kicked us a little bit. But you know, we have multiple guys, you know, from Ty to Sincere to you know, obviously Skyy and Jayden can all handle the basketball and play there. So I feel great about that.
Skyy had a season kind of like you guys did, just coming off the knee injury, then the hand. I think Coach Bell said he broke his nose at one point too. Just how much will maybe just a new season be a benefit for him just to kind of get past all that?
Yeah, I think, you know, you get by it, and you hope that you know, you don't have 64 games or 68 games, whatever we had this year, with games missed with starters and personnel, and you just hope you've got them all out of the way, and you can put a smile on your face and hit the restart button and know that you got a fresh start. And I think he's excited about that. I think he's excited to get training with you know, with Fletch and start to feel the mental part of yeah, I'm back. And there's, as much physical as there is, there's a mental component to that as well.
How much conversation or, you know, maybe internal thoughts have you had about changing any way that you coach just based off of the guard play that you're going to have and how youthful that's going to be?
We're going to play faster. I said it last year. I thought that I wanted to play faster, and the way things played out this year, we made a lot of adjustments. Sure. And there's no doubt that we've got to be a team that is you know, we weren't a great layup making team this year. You know, we lost that aspect when we lost Io, and you know, we added a different piece with Plummer. A great season, and I mean, one of the best years in the country for a transfer. And but yet this team wasn't elite in transition, and Kofi logged a ton of minutes. But we've got to be able to get that back. And you know, we've got guys that play downhill. We've got elite speed, and maybe the best speed we've ever had from really all 4 of those freshmen. So that excites me because we got a chance to be really good on both ends of the court.
Any takeaways for you in the Big Ten and how it played out for them in the NCAA tournament?
You know, I've gotten that question a ton. You know, it's a great league. I think it's everything goes in cycles. Who's to say next year we won't have 2 teams in the Final Four? I think that everybody's wanting to make a big deal about size and can you win with a center, and you know what? We were as good as any team in the country last year. You know, and we got beat. We had a bad night. I would have taken, as many people around the country did, thought we were capable of winning a national championship. This year, unfortunately, we had some bad injuries at the wrong time. The Jacob Grandison injury was huge. But I don't make a lot out of it. I think that you know, some of it is we do beat ourselves up. There are no off nights in the Big Ten, and everybody's going to say they have those, and they don't have those in their league. The one thing that's different is for 45 years the Big Ten's led the country in attendance, and games are more than games; they're events. And you know, we've got just as good a chance as anybody, and we're going to go in every year. And who's to say? Like I said, next year, could be our year. And you got to get lucky in your draw. You got to have some good fortune. We got beat by a good Houston team who was 2 in Kimpom and yet was a 5 seed, and they beat us. And that's all I know is to keep getting back to the tournament, keep going, and keep getting there. And I think Bill said it best the other night. They were the same team that got beat by 35 at home, and you just get hot at the right time and you get the right breaks, and you can win it. We're in that position.
I'm sure you've had a lot of years like this where you're losing a lot of starters, a lot of minutes. What's kind of the excitement like to get guys on campus knowing that there's going to be a lot of minutes to play for, and does that kind of add anything to those early practices and workouts?
No, I tell you what's been great. We're getting back to pre-COVID stuff, and we didn't wait. We jumped right back in it. As soon as we had to take our mandatory time off, we were right back in the weight room. And there is no one in our program that has had a preseason or an off season. Excuse me. Trent and DeMonte were the only ones, and so to get back into pre-COVID lifestyle, so to speak, is great. We're back on the court working out. We'll have a big group here that will stay through our Maymester, which will be nice, and there's an eagerness to do that. And then you get you get to June, and we're doing a ton of basketball related stuff in June, and we've got to do that. We've got to expedite that process a little bit with freshmen who we know are going to play. So it's exciting.
Have you been given an indication that Skyy can be available for you in June, or you may have to wait a little longer for him on that?
No, I think we'll obviously wait and get the proper medical clearance to do that, but we're hopeful that he's ready to go by then, and think that he will be.
Do you feel the need to add a veteran ball handler in the mix with the young guys that you're going to have?
Yeah, I think that we're still evaluating. I think there's some things that Kofi's obviously got a decision to make here in the not too distant future. I think that could change some different things. I don't feel bad about our ball handling. I don't feel bad about our decision making, even though it's young. I think that how our team shapes will be determined a little bit by Kofi's presence or not, or lack thereof, depending on what we have. Been very excited about Dane Deja and what he's capable of and brings to us. But finding a frontline piece if he's not here, finding a shooter if he's here, all those things play into it. So it's still a inexact science based on what guys' decisions are, but we're recruiting really every position right now.
But I don't know if new era is the right word, but you had guys like Trent and DeMonte here for so long, Io, Andres. To have kind of a fresh set of faces, guys to take the reins. What is that like between these four, Coleman, RJ, Luke?
Well, I hope we're not in that new era where we continually see 10, 12 new faces every year. Yet it could be. I think that there's, you've got high major programs right now with 1, 2, 3 guys on scholarship. That's just probably going to be more of the norm. But I hope we're in a position where our program's solid enough that we have 5, 6 guys back every year. No matter what the age is, but I do fully expect that every year we're going to have half or close to being new faces, and so being able to adjust, being able to find out who our leaders are. There was comfort of knowing Trent and DeMonte had been through the wars and been through the battles and had so much experience, and yet there's a fresh sense of excitement because you've got youthful guys and they're excited to be here, and they're excited to start on their journey, and that's always fun.
Is there any thought the portal might slow down at some point once kind of the newness of the one-time deal wears off? Have you put any thought into that?
I doubt if it does. I think we're in a generation where it's just normal. Kids go to 5 high schools, they play on 3 different AAU teams. You know, sometimes their parents are young enough that they were part of that, and so they think it's okay, and it's normal. I don't know if it'll slow down. I'm very curious to see how this moves forward with waivers, and it was put in to help stop those. I'm not completely sold on that, and we'll see how the May 1st, you know, deadline is and how that impacts. We'll see how the guys that have declared for the draft and decide to come back, and how many of those guys choose to enter the portal. Most of us think that there'll be another wave of guys coming from that group, but you know, it's I hope the student athletes don't lose out. That's my biggest fear with the portal, is because usually when you transfer, you're losing credits. You're losing an academic component, and we spend too much time talking about winning and losing games instead of winning and losing a game of life and getting a degree and some of those things. And you know, that's my big concern. But you know, we'll see how it all plays out, and there's so much unknown with this NIL. A lot of factors right now.
Do you have an